Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Scribo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. It's time for tarot scopes again. We're going to be doing tarot scopes for the sign of Pisces for the month of September 2022. And we're going to start with a rune card. The runes are a very ancient form of divination. It's a product of the Norse mythology, Valhalla, Thor, Rancor, all that stuff. I'm not into any of the Marvel stuff, if in fact it is Marvel, so I apologize. It's not. Is it the other thing? I don't know. There's two universes, right? So I don't live in either one of them. I live in this one, which may be different than most people's universes. Okay. Let's take a look and see what card is speaking to us. Tiwaz. Okay. This is a sacrifice, I believe. Let me just find it here. So I'm reading from one of my favorite rune books. I found it years ago. I don't know if it's in print still or not. It's a great book. There you go. The Runic Journey by Jennifer Smith. So this book has 3 levels of meaning: the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. So physically, Tiwaz can warn of an injury, particularly one obtained through sports or martial arts. It can refer to a very physically oriented person who is involved in these areas or who is in the military. So be careful you don't hurt yourself. That's one thing. On a psychological level, Tiwaz can either be competitiveness or aggression, depending on how well the animal is controlled. Ideally, the rune, these warrior traits are primal forces within the psyche, but since there is no real place for the warrior in our society, you must be content with competing in the business world or on a racquetball court. This may not be enough, and the person may end up sublimating his or her aggression in more destructive ways. And so, yeah, very interesting, right? Very, very interesting. Spiritually, Tyr rune represents the sacred warrior. It is someone who passes through a terrible ordeal and has emerged stronger and wiser. And we can see that in this card. This is a crucifixion, right? This is like a crucifixion. Tiwaz. It's very similar to Scorpio. We have like 3 different sort of visions here. We see this warring in the background there. This ordeal may have been a battle or some sort of physical abuse or even a near-death experience. In any case, the wound is still present but has been used as a catalyst for change. The experience, rather than being wholly negative, has served as a central transformative event in the person's life. So this is you have to be careful. You have to physically watch yourself, but it also points to the things that you've already overcome, the challenges that have changed you, and maybe coming to appreciate some of the more difficult parts of your life as being the most important in that respect. Okay, so let's go to the I lost the deck. What did I do with it? Oh, it's over there. I'll be right back. I apologize for there might be some noise in the background. It is actually raining, which is perfect day to do water signs, but it does make the road a little noisier and I have to keep the window open. Otherwise, you will see me melt right in front of your very eyes. So I'm using the Navigator's Tarot of the Mystic Sea. For some reason, I love using this deck for Pisces. It's a little phantasmagorical, as is Pisces. So let's see what the Navigator's Tarot says. All right. What? All right, just a couple more shuffles. It's noisy, but we really need the rain, so I can't really complain. Hopefully, it's not too distracting for you. I have to get a better setup, I think. Maybe a nice microphone or something. I don't know. We'll see. All right. We start with, what kind of fool am I? So, whoa, so we get this card for the rune, and then we get this card for the first part up. So you have been through it, haven't you, Pisces? You've had to take a leap of faith. You're in the process of that. You may feel a little foolish. You may be concerned that you're taking a leap when maybe you shouldn't take a leap. But honestly, when the Fool card comes up, you didn't have a choice. The Fool card is associated with um, the planet Uranus. And so there's a leap of faith. There's always a leap of faith, and sometimes that leap of faith, or you get like propelled over the precipice because of something that happened, some realization perhaps, or even just like an explosion, like, whoop, and then you're off into the. Let's see the challenge. The King of Swords here. Um, the King of Swords shows good judgment. Good judgment. And so the challenge is to have good judgment. That's kind of difficult when you're the Fool, right? Because you generally don't have a lot of experience or a lot of you're like, it's like you're brand new. It's like you're like a little chick and you came out of the thing, and then the first thing that you hit is this King of Swords who wants you to fly right. Fly right. Let's see what's underneath this. The Two of Wands. The Two of Wands. Two of Wands. Twos are always about choice. And the Two of Wands is the choice between maybe two options, but they're very creative. They're creative options. So it's interesting because in this deck, it's a very different kind of Two of Wands. We have the person just sort of lounging, and then we have the person holding the wands, right? Are you going to be this lounger, or are you going to be the person who has the wands in their hands? And I think the King of Swords is saying, make your decision, make your choice. Are you going to watch the world go by, or are you going to become an active participant in it? Let's see what's in the past. We have the Five of Wands. So there was some challenges in the past, some creative differences, perhaps. Maybe you had some creative differences with people. This is about sort of fighting. It doesn't, it's a fighting, but it's I want to call it like I always see this card as a melee. For those of you who don't know what a melee is, a melee was when they would get all the warriors together and they'd have a big like barbecue. And if they weren't at war, in order to keep the warriors, keep them up to snuff, they would have these melees. And so people would get hurt, people would get would get injured. It wasn't the intention to necessarily to kill people, but you could get hurt in melee. And I feel like you sort of come out of this. Maybe this was the thing. Maybe you were part of a group and you got kicked out, or you got transported to another situation. The Fool, right? By yourself, taking the leap of faith. Let's see what's in the sky. We have the Queen of Cups in the sky. The Queen of Cups is very psychic. Tea and empathy. She can be very supportive. She can help you understand your feelings about things. She is the sustainer of the emotions. There is help if you need help. There is help out there for you. The Queen of Cups could be, it's time for you to see a therapist. It's time for you to help process some of these feelings that you're having. Let's see what's in the immediate future. The Moon. Now, this card is connected to Pisces, but it's not generally a positive card when it comes up, because it generally means a lot of sort of ups and downs. There's a lot of emotional ups and downs. I don't think that you have resolved what has happened to you. And so there are times when you're like really sad, and then there's times you're really angry, and then you're really sad, and then what do you do? The Moon requires us to balance the more instinctual nature of ourselves, and then the more sort of actuated part. And finding that balance can be difficult. Um, your dreams can be very prophetic now. So I would pay attention to my dreams. I would make sure that I was getting the kind of rest that I need. If things get overwhelming for you, Pisces, you need to sleep. You need to go to bed. You need to dream the dream. You have to make sure you're getting enough rest. And it's going to be very important this month for you to have where you sleep needs to be clear of clutter. Okay, you need to declutter your space, because there are messages coming through, psychic messages that I believe you're going to get in your sleep. Let's see how it's seen from the outside. Messages. You're getting a message. There's a message for you, a directional message. So you're getting directional messages. Your domestic situation. We have the Six of Swords. You've been in a particularly dangerous situation at home, and that is changing. You are moving away from that sense of you're at a knife's edge, or somebody has a knife to your throat, or you're moving to calmer waters. You're moving to a place that's more stable mentally, and more peace of mind. More peace of mind. Let's see, hopes and fears. The Page of Swords. You know the precipitous climb that you have to do, and you need to just be very aware of where you're planting your feet, where you're putting your handfuls, right? Um, it's more of a there can be some self-doubt with this. Am I doing the right thing? Am I going in the right direction? Is this the right way to go? Yes, it is. It is just you just have to be cautious. You have to be careful. Remember, the King of Swords comes in. So there are specific actions that need to be taken that you have to figure out. You have to figure out. Let's see your outcome. We have the Hierophant. This is the This is a Taurus card, actually. The Hierophant is about listening to the still small voice within. Who is, who has the best answer for you? You do. And that answer comes from within you. It comes from your higher self. And so you need to practice patience. You need to practice practicality. It's very important that you practice go through this period. Um, you know it works, and you need to do that. The stuff that you know doesn't work, you need to avoid, right? Okay, let's see what's underneath it. We have death, which is transformation. So it's possible. A situation that was there will no longer be there. We have the Ace of Wands, which is about new creativity, wonderful card, and the Ace of Cups. So I feel like there's a loss, but then there's all kinds of new beginnings here. And so that's really what's underneath it. Perhaps you didn't want things to change, but things change. And so you need to move through with those changes, and you need to practice um, caution, taking the right steps. You know, Pisces can be a little bit lackadaisical. It's like, oh, well, everything comes out in the wash anyway. But these cards are saying that you need to not be that way. Um, you can utilize your Pisces spidey senses. You can utilize your psychic abilities. You pay attention to your dreams. All of that stuff is very important. But it's up to you. What do you want your life to look like? And then you need to make the choices and take the actions that are going to get you there. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe. Have yourself a wonderful month. I will see you again next month in October for the tarot scopes for Pisces for the month of October. But until then, everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. Just be smart. Be careful. Be focused. You can do it, Pisces. You can do it. Take care, everyone. Namaste.